welcome back to the Jesus Culture. It's been a trying season, a very trying season indeed, where many of us have found ourselves being challenged by financial burdens, losing our loved ones, and no doubt, many of us have been shaken in our faith. But we thank God for our lives, and we thank God for simply being alive, particularly because I've been trying to find an angle for the types of topics that I want to talk about, the types of conversations that I would like to have with people concerning what the Jesus culture is primarily about, what it is designed for, who it is meant for, and the types of things that I really want to delve deep on. I started the Jesus culture primarily because I fell in love with the Jesus story. I fell in love with the gospel. I fell in love with the idea that there is a God that many of us have come to acknowledge. I've come to understand that there are many people, many of my contemporaries, individuals in my age groups who grew up either going to church or not necessarily being exposed to a very religious background. But in their own way, they've come to make sense of God in a different way that may not necessarily present itself as conventional. And with that said, many people still believe in God, though they may have experienced a lot of disappointment through the more conventional approach or the traditional approach that we are mostly accustomed to, such as going to church and through other different religious means. Now, I'm also aware of the fact that many people are very confused as to which religion is right, which God is right, or what is right and what is the truth of the matter. And those are the types of questions that I would like to actually bring into light. And those are the types of questions that I would like to really discuss in the Jesus Culture platform. But most importantly, why Jesus? Because Jesus is not a religion. Jesus is a very different construct that I believe was God's way of separating himself from the rest of all the confusion and all the chaos that we see around us. Jesus is a very different theological rendition that cannot be manufactured, that cannot be rendered by human logic or any kind of construct that we ourselves are capable of constructing. Hence, it has been proven or supported by many scholars in history. It has been supported by many skeptics. Many are skeptics who have actually come to the faith, even some who do not really believe that Jesus was indeed an actual figure and character. If there is one thing that we know for sure is that he was an influential figure and figurehead and spearhead of the Christian faith, what is known as a Christian faith today. But this Christian faith was not necessarily called Christianity. It was just a faith in a God, that God is able to save us, that he is able to abound his grace for everyone, that we don't need to go through any man's creed, any man's tradition, or any man's culture in order to have a relationship with him. We only need to know him. And I thought there was something remarkable about that kind of a story or that kind of rendition. What the gospel is, the good news. Why is it the good news? God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. God so loved the world. The key word there is God so loved the world. Now, if you say that God so loved the Christians or God so loved the believers, it says the world. And if you understand the word world, it means everything that is in it, everything that he created. Remember, in the book of Genesis, the beginning of everything, God created the heavens and the earth. So therefore, he loves everything that he has created. Now, my attempts with the Jesus culture is to simply bring about a sense of why we need to have a renaissance to understanding and loving and getting to know better who is God and who is Jesus, so that we can get to really establish a closer relationship with him, be better people, find our healing that we need to find, and apart from everything, just do justice to the confusion The confusion that I believe that is plagued by either lack of knowledge, a lot of ignorance, and also a lot of deception that many of us have gone through and still go through even today. This is why I call this the Jesus culture, because I believe that we can only find truth and balance when we really get to understand the truth and mystery around Christ and who Christ is and why Jesus is for all, not just for Christians. So this is a Jesus culture, and I hope I'll be seeing you more on the next video and other different types of topics that I would love to talk about. They may involve apologetics, they may talk about Christology, they may cover a wide array of topics within Christendom as well as outside of Christendom in conversations around popular culture. Stay blessed and do take care of yourselves. Once again, this is the Jesus culture, where it's all about truth over tradition. And most importantly, stay cultured in Christ. God bless you.